Good afternoon, everybody. You know what day it is. It's hump day. Time to get over that hump. If you've been having a couple bad days, it's time to get over the hump and hit the downhill cycle. Hit those, start hitting some of those bets. And if you're going the other way, you're at the pinnacle. Hopefully you keep going. I don't know. I think that analogy only works one way.
I was going to say it didn't really work. Hopefully you're at the pinnacle. Hopefully you don't fall off a cliff.
Nope, that's it. Tortured analogy is, I believe, the correct phrase for that. By the way, if you're wondering who's babbling at you, I'm Scott Steehn. I'm the lead handicapper at WHINERS.com. I'm just along for the ride, man, watching the magician pull those parlays out of his hat. This is just parlays, of course, and this is my partner, Chris King. What's up, Chris?
Not much, Scott. How's it going with you guys over there in the Midwest? The rain stop?
Finally got my dog out of his Thunder shirt, so that's a big development here in Missouri, man. We've been.
Do those work?
My wife claims they do. My wife is the many hats she wears. She's also a certified dog trainer, so she swears it helps. To me, he just looks scared shitless either way.
If she wants to take a road trip to New York, my parents have 3 Irish Wolfhounds that could use some training. I don't know if she's dealt with any of those or not.
Her concentration was in a breed that the guy she worked for actually invented called the American Tundra Shepherd. So it was a half wolf, half German Shepherd breed. A lot of fun. She's got the scars on both arms to prove it. So.
Oh, I can imagine. My parents' dogs, Jake goes about 235.
Nice.
So
fighting weight. I love those Irish Wolfhounds. Those are cool, majestic looking dogs. Hey man, we got some guys in the comments section checking in. Brandon Kubas is here, unknown entity. Andrew is in the house. I told you I looked his name up one time, and I think it's Kolajeds. No, I fucked it up, but I looked up that spelling and I had it right one time. Big day for me, Chris. I get to watch the Royals on my big TV. Usually I have to pirate them because my cable system doesn't, or my satellite system doesn't get the Royals. So,
don't you watch it on MLB TV?
My streaming service. I'm blacked out, dude.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I don't have to worry about that as much here unless they black out the Braves, and I don't care because I don't like them anyway.
Right. So I've got to watch it on my computer because I'm usually borrowing the stream, and I just don't usually I can get the computer on my TV. I just don't the internet, but I don't fuck with it. So anyway, big news. I get to watch it in 55-inch glory here in my office. I'm pretty excited.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing at all. And
except for the fact that you're watching the Royals, I guess.
Well, that is the minor detail. I told everybody on my video, I said, the Royals are just about an auto fade at this point. I didn't have complete faith in Pilkington, and I didn't want to lay 150. And of course, Royals money came in. It went down to 135 by game. Jeez. I don't know who's out there going, I like this Royals team. This is a team they're due to bust out. So.
Probably Dayton Moore.
Dayton Moore moving the lines. It's I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it a bit. As we we abbreviate him around here, GMDM. That's how everybody in Royals Twitter knows the Dayton Moore, who's given us 1 championships and 17 losing seasons. About I don't know. It's not
maybe Pete Rose bet on him.
Pete Rose fading the Royals. Hey guys, both the Red Sox and Brewers choked last night. Glad I decided to lay off betting. Very good, Ryan. Yeah, I had the Brewers as my play. Coughed up not 1, not 2, but 3 leads. Thank you very much. They're up 3-1, 6-3, and 7-6, and they puked them all away. Josh.
No, they didn't puke away 7-6. They were down 7-6.
No, they scored in the top. I thought.
No, they scored 3 in the 6th, and the Cubs scored 4 in the bottom of the 6th.
And I thought
7-6. They scored in the top of the 7th to tie it up.
Okay, they only tied it. Okay, so they puked up 2 leads and a tie. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I knew the Cubs came back and scored 4 the same inning. They scored 3.
Yeah, that was a weird game because you watch the game cast thing on ESPN and you see a ball that bloops in the middle of center field, and all it says is Yelich tripled. It's like, what did Ian Happ fall down and break his leg trying to track down the ball?
Yeah, not good. Oh man. So anyway, this is just parlays. We want to remind you guys, of course, as always, if you would be so kind, smash that like button. Let us know you're out there. Let us know you're digging what we're doing. And, of course, get your butt subscribed to our YouTube channels, Winners and Whiners YouTube channel. You're probably already subscribed there, but here's the deal. As of June 13th, we will be available live only on the Max Wagers Network YouTube channel. Very important, Max Wagers Network. Get over to the YouTube channel, get subscribed, click the bell, get notified every time we put up brand new content. If you don't want to be annoyed and click the bell, don't click the bell. Everybody out there goes, click the bell, got to hammer the bell, hammer the bell.
If you took the raisins, if you didn't take the raisins.
Yeah. The strawberries. I see the strawberries. Great movie, by the way. You ever seen that?
I don't know if I did or not. The one that I was doing was George from Seinfeld.
Humphrey Bogart.
Oh, okay.
Kane Mutiny.
Yeah, so that's from a long while ago.
Oh yeah. It's not a 21st century movie. And speaking without segues as we do with of the Max Wagers Network, a lot of great content on the Max Wagers Network. You and I were there last night doing Allie's show, but you can catch her every day at 1:00. You can catch Sean Higgs doing Midday Money at noon. Me and you here at 2. Me and Scott at 3 doing our gig. 4:00, Sean Miller. You want to talk about the beautiful game, soccer? I know all this stuff. I know there's a lot of soccer that's over. You can tell because they threw the flares, so that makes it official that the season is done. But I know, Sean, there's plenty of leagues and plenty of action. My God, you might even be forced to talk about soccer in America, Chris.
I was going to say, isn't MLS still going on?
Oh, it goes on. I think it's like 10 months out of the year it's going on.
I was going to say, it seems like, MLS, it's kind of like golf. It stops for 5 minutes and then, it starts up again.
I know it's colder than shit when they start. It's colder than shit when they end. That's what I know about soccer here in Missouri.
And look who's in the chat, Scott. It's none other than the notorious
it's
NASCAR specialist, Rye Cape.
He's the NASCAR sniper, man. It's good to have Rye aboard. He gave a great tip, and I'm gonna share it with everybody because they run in Gateway this Sunday, and of course, nobody has a lot of experience at Gateway. Nobody has any experience in the new car at Gateway. So Rye suggested he's going to go back and spend the week looking at some of the drivers' truck races because they have run at Gateway in the truck series. So yeah, good tip. Good to have Rye. Make sure you check out me and Chris and Rye and Scott Reichel on our NASCAR show that we do every weekend. We get it posted about midnight Saturday morning. And have a lot of fun. It may not be the best NASCAR show out there. It is probably the most irreverent.
And highly entertaining.
We tape it. We record it. I tape it. Yeah, that tells you how old you are right there, Chris, when you go, I tape something.
We break out the 8-track machine.
Yeah. Can you record that show? Can you tape that show at 9? No, I cannot because I don't live in the 80s anymore.
Because I don't know how to program by VCR.
But we do it right after Scott and I's show on Friday afternoon. It's kind of like happy hour for us. We're kind of winding down after the week, and we're probably even goofier than we would usually be. So make sure you check that out. It's available, of course, on the Winners and Whiners YouTube channel and the Max Wagers Network YouTube channel. And you thought I was going to forget, but I wasn't going to forget. 5 p.m. brings Detroit Lenny, Nick Earl, and Tim Earl, bringing it all together with Game Time Decision. So, yeah, there you go.
So, Scott, in the words of Supertramp, when it came to recapping the show schedule took the long way home.
Yes, many of my journeys take the long way home. So there you go. Of course, it's June 1st. Chris, we still got our deal at Caesars, right?
Apparently so, because I just checked and I saw it wasn't gone.
There you go. We have not received. I checked my mail. I checked my email today. One of the 2 times a year that I check it. No, I'm kidding. We do not have a new promo to my knowledge. So let's talk about Caesars. Caesars, great guys doing the Caesars Sportsbook app, and they are offering you a tremendous opportunity here. If you'd like to load up on one particular game, you've got a line, you've got an edge. Maybe you're going to fade the Royals. Maybe you're going to take the over in that hockey game. Anyway, whatever you got lined up, you can do it at Caesars risk-free up to $1,100 on your first bet. Got to get it funded, and you got to make your first bet your best bet. If you win, of course, you win your bet. And if you lose, well, Caesars will make it good once again, up to $1,100. Must use the code ATSWINS-CAESAR. That is ATSWINSCZR. That is available in the job description, in the description of today's video, as well as the link that will take you right there.
And look at that, Scott. The Royals have the bases loaded in the 4th.
All right. Well, we can find out new and interesting ways to get out of that without scoring.
Sadly, you've got probably the 3 slowest runners on base. It's Perez, Melendez, and Santana.
I told you I'm watching the game, right? Okay. So Santana has 2 hits today.
I know he's up to $1.64 now.
I was going to say that could take him into the mid 160s. So I'm pretty excited about that.
Better trade him now at the height of his value.
Ooh, I might get half a bag of balls.
I was going to say you might get a bag of peanuts and
I don't know. We can give you a full bag, but
a hot dog bun.
If you're looking for more of this guy's great picks, he's got premium picks available. So make sure you check those out. And if you want my picks, a little 2-1 on the premium side yesterday, that link is available in the description as well. Chris, I think that covers all the bases, if you will. How'd yesterday go for you?
Well, Kenley Jansen decided to screw us over with the Braves blowing a lead in the ninth. Of course, they were up 6-2 in the sixth and still lost. But we did have the Astros and Avalanche on the run line and the puck line, so that one paid out better than 4.5 to 1. So
okay, all right,
it wasn't all bad.
It basically paid for your day. So.
Yeah, Boston sunk us in the 4-teamer, and then I think we had 6. And if they would have changed it from Mike Smith saves to Edmonton saves, it could have been 7. But they don't put team saves on there.
Yeah, that's really a danger with both of those guys. Whether they're going to be in there for the full game.
But on the plus side, if you had taken Draisaitl for at least 2 assists, out of the shot in the dark, that paid off at plus 300. So
yeah, that's a good hit. That was a good hit indeed. Hey, I know you're kind of a sports trivia history guy. Chris, who said, can anybody here play this game?
I'm not sure off the top of my head.
Darn it. Now I have to look it up because I'm gonna tie it in.
Well, while you're looking it up, we'll talk about that hockey game last night.
It was a book by Jimmy Breslin. Sorry.
Okay.
Chronicled the New York Mets 1962 season.
Oh yeah, well they couldn't play that year. They were
right.
40 at 120.
My question is, were the coaches last night, to paraphrase Jimmy Breslin, asking their goalies and asking their goalie reserves, can anyone here play this game? Because that was an absolutely just horrendous showing by both those netminders.
It was, well, I mean, Kemper's excuse is he got hurt.
Okay. Well, how many had he?
He gave up 2.
Huh?
He gave up 2, I think.
He'd given up 2 before he got hurt, right?
Right, and then Frank Hughes came in and to start right after the first whistle in the second period. So now you have to wonder: is Kemper going to play, or is he going to be out? And then you're going to have to rely on Frank Hughes, and God knows who else you're going to have as your backup goaltender, because you don't necessarily carry 3 good goaltenders. You have one really good guy, an average guy, and then would we be better off playing with an empty net?
Somebody wearing coveralls that you got to get them off the Zamboni.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, are we going to see 7.5
for a total?
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't surprise me. I mean,
now you've been betting hockey a lot longer than I have. You pay a lot more attention. Have you ever seen 7.5?
Not in the last couple of decades. I mean, you have to go back to the Gretzky years and all that, where every game was 8-7.
All right, very good.
But yeah, that game, that's like I told you, the game went over 5 minutes into the second period, and then they doubled what the total was.
Yeah, absolutely. That a baby Royals. Way to go, guys. They managed to get out of that without scoring a run. It was close there for a minute, but they managed to pull it off. Way to go.
What they do, whiff a couple times?
Whiff ground out to first. Thank you very much. Bronco Devil in the house. He's got Mets, Yankees, Astros, and a parlay tonight. AJ wants to know if the Red Sox bounce back tonight. Chris, you got the Red Sox locked and loaded, or do you have an opinion on that game?
I didn't put it up in the shot in the dark. I stayed away from talking about any of the games. I went more with props, but I think that Boston should bounce back. I mean, can we really sit here and say, they're going to score 1 run over 27 innings? I mean, they scored nothing against Baltimore Monday. They had 1 yesterday. So they blew a chance to win that game in the ninth because, they had second and third, I think, and nobody out. And
right.
They cashed in 1.
Yeah, that was Andrew says that was close. He says they escaped another bases loaded jam. He's either a Guardians fan or he's being sarcastic like I am, and he's a Royals. Either way, it works. Yeah, I mean, yesterday I guess you could have an excuse. You had the pitcher on the mound for the for the Reds that is allegedly the ace, right?
Allegedly. That's what they say. That's what they say. But
But it was Castillo, right?
Yeah, it was Castillo and Waka.
Yeah, Castillo and Waka. So, I thought he looked fine. Luis Castillo did a nice job, but this Boston offense right now, for whatever reason, just seems to be in the tank. Maybe if they spent more money, maybe they don't.
They spent a couple of $100 million.
Jesus, that is absolutely brutal. So
but
yeah,
yesterday Castillo went 6 innings, no runs, 1 hit, 3 walks, 10 strikeouts.
It is feast or famine, pretty much, with this Boston team. They either score double digits or they score 2 or less.
Yeah,
that's been the pattern in the last couple of weeks. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. All right, buddy, you ready to get to it? Crystal Craig. Let's see. Cashed on the Jays yesterday. Got Springer for the double. Kirk for a home run, which was lucky. It almost chose Jansen. Nicely done. Thinking Hernandez might have a big night tonight. Hit 2 doubles last night. What do you think? Are you of the theory that when somebody has a big game like that with a couple of doubles, that maybe that's the highlight, or is it just the beginning of a hot streak?
It could be the start of something. He can't get any colder than he was before he went on the shelf. I mean, we talked about him last week when we were talking about why is Toronto not scoring any runs, and we talked about all these guys aren't hitting for squat. And Hernandez, he's still hitting $185.
Right.
So I mean, he can't get any worse. Well, I mean, he could play for the Royals.
Carlos Santana has entered the chat. Somebody
or half of Oakland's lineup.
Somebody wanted to know if we had talked about the Rays yet.
We have not, but I think that we talked about that last night on Chaos, and I think Jeffrey Springs has pitched pretty well, and John Gray has not pitched pretty well.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is John Gray has been one of the bigger disappointments, I would say, as far as free agent acquisitions go. 5.6 ERA, 130 WHIP, not good. And
he's been on the shelf, I think, at least twice.
Yeah. Well, there's a shocker. I don't know whoever figured John Gray would be injured, but that Tampa Bay offense just did
squat
last night.
I took Martin Perez though, so
Martin Perez, got it done last night for sure. Gave up.
I mean, Yarbrough wasn't bad, but
no,
when you get no run support, what are you going to do?
No, it was all about the home runs for Texas. And they were able to get it out of the yard a couple times, and that was the difference. 3-0, and it was over. They had 1 half inning where they scored runs, and that was it. That was it for the whole game. So.
And to your point about Gray, his last 3 starts, he's given up 11 runs, 17 and 2/3 innings, 19 hits, 6 walks. He has struck out 17, but still, that's a lot of runs to be given up. And the sad part was he got a win in a game where he gave up 4 and took a loss when he gave up 2.
Yeah. Yep.
And then he got a no decision in a game where he gave up 5.
It just shows you what wins and losses mean when you're trying to handicap a pitcher. Not much. AJ's says, I think Vinny is ready to take over for Santana. No shit. He's got I have 11 home runs. He's just mashing the ball. Pascatino, I think is his name. Just killing it with Omaha right now. And as we talked about, Santana is not. So
Omaha, somewhere in Middle America.
Morlo says Cy Young contender. Wow. What's the odds on that phrase being those words all going together in the same sentence and being accurate?
Cy Young Pasquantino has 15 homers now.
15 home runs.
304, 15 homers, 52 RBIs.
Well, thank God we don't need a first baseman here because we've got Carlos Santana.
He's got an OBP of 395 and an OPS of 1074.
Yeah, that'll play. Some motherfuckers wondering, what do you guys want me to sell popcorn in the fucking dugout or after the game? What do you want me to do here? I'm pretty much maxed out. So,
and the one thing about Pasquantino too is he draws walks. It looks like he's got a good batter's eye. He's walked 116 times and struck out 134 in minor league games.
Oh, okay. That explains why he's not here.
Yeah, this year he had 25 walks, 30 strikeouts.
Okay. Yeah, still, not ideal, but
25 and 30. That's not bad. I mean, look at some of these guys up in the majors.
If you're hitting 300, you're bashing the ball, and your OPS is over 1,000. I don't give a fuck how many times you strike out.
Yeah, he's got 14 doubles.
Yeah, there you go. Quintana pitching tonight. Ryan Page says he has already put the jinx on Quintana because he bet the Pirates. So there's a couple of numbers a little below the surface in some of his secondary stats that
I love the fact that he's given up 5 unearned runs.
Yeah, but I mean, we've talked about this before. Unearned runs doesn't mean you were out of the woods. It means, maybe there was 2 outs, there was an error, you walked 2 guys, you gave up a grand slam. All 4 of those runs are unearned, but make no mistake, you pitch shitty to make those guys all 4, right?
Oh, I agree.
Yeah. So I do like to look below the surface if somebody's got what appears to be an unnaturally low ERA and see how many actual runs they've given up. So,
and I think he's also been lucky as far as average on balls in play, because they're only hitting 265 on balls in play.
I was handicapping a pitcher the other day who had a BABIP of a couple of games of 160, but he'd given up 4 home runs in just 8 hits. And then I remembered, you know this funky thing about BABIP, that home runs do not count as balls in play.
Yeah, because it measures how effectively they turn balls into outs.
Correct. So it's kind of a glitchy thing with BABIP in that it doesn't give you a true picture if the guy's giving up a shit ton of home runs. So
sounds like Reed Detmers.
Reed Detmers. We'll see. I faded him tonight, buddy.
So did I.
He's made one good start, and it was a really good one. But that's it. That's really it. Somebody wants to know what's up with the Dodgers. What's up with the Dodgers? Indeed, their lead down to 3. They're lost a couple straight. Is everybody freak when the Dodgers have lost a couple straight? I guess if you're a Dodgers fan, you do, right?
Well, I mean, it's a tough division.
It is a tough division. Everybody was over 500 for a very long time.
And, Arizona's played well, comparatively.
For Arizona, sure.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've seen some stuff happen. I think that the Dodgers will be all right. I think they might have underestimated Pittsburgh, but who doesn't?
Yeah, very possible. Kevin Riley in the house. Good afternoon to you, Kevin. Good to have you here. I thought they would come back when I saw 2 on base. Yeah. Losing to the Pirates. Yeah. See, I can't. I can't roast anybody. That's what sucks. We literally have the worst record in baseball. We scored we have the second worst run differential. Second only to the Pirates, by the way. So they're probably taking care of that this weekend. Hey, Chris, let's make the folks some money, shall we?
Sure, why not?
Let's talk about some games, man.
Look at that. We're going to talk about Reed Detmers.
Okay.
Yeah, the Angels have lost.
You just watch my video and then write up a play? My God, Chris, come on.
The Angels lost. And I didn't even see your video, so.
Yeah.
The Angels have lost 6 straight games. Let's face it. They haven't been good lately. The Yankees beat up on Noah Syndergaard yesterday, which was surprising because I thought Syndergaard would pitch better than he did.
Yep.
Nestor Cortez, has there been a bigger surprise? Is he a bigger surprise than Jose Quintana?
Wow, what a great question. Yeah. Because I think he's been a little better than Quintana, and he didn't have to make the transition out of the Quintana didn't have to make the transition out of the bullpen. So I'd say for those reasons, yeah. But they're just about 1A and 1B for me.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The Angels, they actually score some runs. The problem is their pitching has been terrible lately. We saw that with Toronto over the weekend. Yankees 5-0 in their last 5 at home against the left-handed starter. 11-3 in their last 14 against teams with winning record. 10-3 in their last 13 against starters with a whip less than 1.15. And Detmers is at 0.91, but he doesn't miss a lot of bats.
No, he doesn't miss a lot of bats. In his no-hitter, he only had 2 strikeouts. He had one walk and 2 strikeouts. That's what you call pitching to contact right there, my friend.
Yeah, he's given up 4 homers in his last 2 starts. He's also got an 8.49 ERA and 11 2/3 innings on the road.
Yeah, not good. He's last 2 starts you mentioned since the no-hitter, 9 2/3 innings, 8 earned. Just 8 hits. That's the good news. Bad news is, as you touched on, 4 of them have left the yard. So
that's probably who you were researching when you were talking about that a minute ago.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. It's a weird anomaly in that the opposing batters have an OPS of 939 against him, but a BABIP of just 160. So some of that can be accounted for by the fact 4 of those hits were home runs. But there is a factor that you can also say, believe it or not, is he's gotten shelled the last 2 games. The opposing batters have actually been a little unlucky. It could have been worse, is what I'm saying. Could be worse. Could be raining.
That's true.
Yeah, Angels 0-7 last 7 after allowing 5 or more in their previous game. I'm surprised they've only played 7 games after allowing 5 or more with that bullpen of theirs. So actually, I know the bullpen's been better than we expected, but it looks like the wheels. I don't know if they're not quite coming off the Angels, but they're definitely. You got a wobble. You got a couple of wobbles.
Yeah.
So I've got.
Apparently, King Me has some heat for you in the next hour, Scott.
What you got? Oh, we're going to save it for the next show. Okay.
Apparently so. That's what it says in the chat.
Okay. All right. I'm ready. Bring it on. I ain't going nowhere. I'll be over in the other studio, but other than that, the hardest part is moving the entire backdrop over to the other studio.
It's got to be difficult.
Oh, I've got to roll it all the way down the parking lot. It takes a lot of time, but it's good to work out. It's good to work out. So, yeah, I'm going to sit. Not much to say about this one. Nestor Cortez has been fantastic. He's you look at behind his stats, all the peripherals are good. He's given up more than 2 runs in just 1 of his 9 starts. That was 3, and that was in a game the Yankees ended up winning anyway. Yeah, I got nothing. I got nothing for the Angels here. I'm with you, Chris. I'm not afraid to lay the run line either. That was my play. At you got it at plus 115. I had it at 110. So there's actually been Yankees money or Yankee or Angels money.
Angels money, yeah.
So.
And Brandon asked about how about the Astros and the A's? Well, how about it?
Boom. Brandon, nice job. Just like rehearsal, buddy. Well done.
I mean, we're talking about a Houston team that's taken both games in this series. And in case you missed it yesterday, there was a Scott Reichel moment. The Scott Reichel, I could have done that moment in the 8th inning of that game. It was a 1-1 game. Frankie Montas gave up a solo homer to Chas McCormick. They took him out. They brought in Zach Jackson out of the bullpen to try to, keep things in check. And he promptly went to a full count and walked a guy. And then he went to a full count and walked another guy. Then he was ahead 0-2 and walked that guy. And then he was ahead 0-1 and walked that guy to force in a run.
So he threw
4 straight walks.
I'm not sure Reichel could have done that. I believe he could have given up 4 straight walks. I'm not sure he could have thrown, 3 strikes?
It was like 6 or 7 strikes eventually, but.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
But, who knows how many of those were fouled off or anything, Or if it was Reichel, they probably would have been laughing at him. So they could have gotten some sympathy strikes.
Yeah, that could be true. I grew up, I played a lot of baseball. I played through high school, but when I was in Little League, I was a catcher, of course, and I would jack around in practice throwing my side arm, my Dan Quisenberry, Kent DeColve, and the kids, they loved it. I threw strikes. So they finally talked the coach into letting me come in a game. And I came in, threw 12 straight balls, walked the bases loaded, and then promptly gave up a home run.
And Vaughn has walked the bases loaded on 12 straight pitches. Look at these guys lay out pitches that close.
That ended my nascent pitching career right there. Coach came in and said, "You couldn't be more done. Go down the tools of ignorance, my friend, and get used to it." A's playing better than I thought. They're playing better than I thought they would play, but I think they are at a decided disadvantage with Verlander on the bump for the Astros.
Yeah, and Cole Irvin has not been. He's got some decent numbers, but he's another guy that doesn't miss bats. And in the case of him, I think they said he's got a .597 slugging percentage against or something. So he's probably due to regress some. He's not going to keep that pretty 3.15 ERA.
Yeah,
And
he's got an outstanding ERA, but he's got a WHIP of 12 of 1.20, and that indicates that ERA probably should be a little bit higher. So I think you are right. I think he is definitely pitching in some luck, to be sure. And again, not a guy that strikes out a lot of guys. Well, that's one of the things I like to look at. Is I like to look at swinging strike rates. I want to see who's missing bats. I'm not a big pitch to contact guy, especially in this era with everybody concentrating on their long launch angles and all that. So I'd rather they did not put the bat on the ball. Call me old school.
And Andrew said at least you didn't bean the guy in the head.
True. Honestly, Andrew, I didn't have many that close to the plate, so there was not many safer places to be than standing right next to where I was trying to throw a baseball.
How bad is the Verlander had a rough start against Seattle in his last outing, and his ERA is still 2.03 and his WHIP is 0.832.
Yeah, guess who backed him in that game?
Yeah, I did too.
Absolutely brutal. But you still have to go by the body of work, both the career and this season, where he looks reinvigorated, to be sure.
And here's some interesting numbers that I didn't put up on there, Scott. Okay. In 14 career starts at the Oakland Coliseum, now Ring Central, of course, which we talked about, Verlander has a 2.64 ERA and a 0.99 WHIP. The A's have hit 194 against him.
That's solid. There's somebody not afraid to miss a few bats.
It gets better. The A's are dead last this season in OPS at 608.
Yeah, this is a team that is not scoring at all. You've got it up there, 29th in runs per game,
30th in runs at home,
30th in runs at home. And again, we touched on it a couple of weeks ago. That's not surprising at the Ring Central Coliseum because there's a place with more foul territory than Oakland. So if you're the home team there, you've got I don't know, probably 2 or 3 balls per game that would be in the stands at other places that get caught in Oakland. So it's definitely going to affect your average. If you play 81 games there, it's definitely going to affect the runs that you score. So sorry, that's the way it works. So
yeah, the A's OPS dropped to 597 in May. They're also last in sweet spot percentage and 26th in hard hit percentage. So even when they make contact, it's not good contact.
Oh, very good. So what you're saying, if I was going to recap here, the A's aren't very good on offense.
He's not the best color man in baseball for nothing. That broadcast school really paying off.
Astros playing good baseball right now, playing good against the West, 12-3. Like you said, 21-7, their last 28 overall. That's a 750 winning percentage. As they say on the golf course, after I hit my chip, that'll play. But
and Bronco Dell saying the whole stadium's foul territory. Just because they, lose money because they only get like 2,000 people in the stands doesn't mean you can say it's all foul territory.
I think he's perhaps using a double entendre there for the fact that many times there is human feces backing up and running onto the field. So
right,
it is foul territory indeed. Fine place there in Oakland. Astros 220. No interest in that number. I'm okay with laying the wood here and getting it down there to picking up that $1 worth of value.
Yeah.
Decent amount of value to pick up with a road team. So yeah, I'm cool with that.
All right then.
What you got, buddy?
Now we got a hockey game.
Hockey.
Is
this one going to be 8-6?
No.
Oh, I didn't think so.
No, you got the Tampa Bay Lightning and the New York Rangers. The Rangers somehow get home ice advantage, despite being the third place team in the Metropolitan. Tampa Bay, they haven't played in about 3 years.
I believe so. I believe the last time was when they won the cup. So it does. They've definitely had some time off, buddy.
Yeah, let me just see when their last game was because they wiped Florida out. So, and we talked about that ad nauseum about the experience factor being a case. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they haven't played since May 23rd, which was last Monday.
There you go. So they've had a nice 9 days offish, 8 days off. Very nice.
Yeah, which works in their favor because Braden Point can come back. He missed the Florida series with a lower body injury. You got to love the way they talk about that in hockey. It's nothing specific. We're just going to tell you what half of the body it is.
Below the waist. We'll give you a hint. Elvis couldn't shake it on TV. So,
But what do you make of this game, Scott? I mean, the Rangers, they won Game 7 on the road against Carolina to get here. Does the fact that they had to play 7 games put them at a disadvantage? Does it give them an advantage?
I think it puts them. I think that puts them at a disadvantage. Maybe Tampa Bay didn't want 9 days off or whatever, but it does give time for everybody to, I don't know, completely heal, but certainly get a lot better. Chris, here's the deal with this series. Give me the best goalie that's left and the team that's done it before until proven otherwise.
So the been there, done that mentality returns.
Yeah, until it's proven not to be the case. That's going to be my default position. Laying 130, even though you're on the road, I think that's a reasonable ask for Tampa Bay. I will definitely be getting involved, taking the Lightning on the money line. If you want to take a little extra value and take plus money, you can play reg or you can play the puck line. That's a great price for the puck line. Now this should be it should be a low scoring series or a low scoring game, and probably a low scoring series as well. So the puck line becomes even more valuable as you're seeing right there. So picking up.
Yeah, Tampa Bay covered the puck line in 3 of the 4 games against Florida.
Okay.
The Rangers, in their 3 losses to Carolina, 2 of them came by multiple goals, and then of course when they lost to Pittsburgh, 2 of their 3 losses were by multiple goals as well.
Right. In hockey, and you always have to keep in mind the open net. At the end of the game, it's like in the NFL, instead of just kneeling down at the end of the game, all they did was just drop back and throw fly passes. And every once in a while they'd connect one, and you'd put another, and you'd cover the line. Because how many times have you been 3 points up and you're trying to cover a 9-point spread? You're like, just throw the fucking ball. And they're not going to throw it because there's no reason to do it. There's 30 seconds left. The other team's out of timeouts. You know what's coming. Wouldn't it be great if they just had to, at least has to be 30 yards in the air. That's the rule.
Make it like arena football where, you can't kneel down. You have to at least try to advance the ball.
Yep. I agree. All right, buddy. You and I both on the Lightning here. Are you going to get involved with the puck line? You think there's value there?
I think so. I mean, like we said, Tampa Bay's covered the puck line in 3 of the 4 against Florida. They had success covering it against Toronto in the games they won. I just think, it's going to be a low-scoring thing. But, I mean, look at the puck line yesterday. Like you said, the empty net is the great equalizer to the puck line.
Right.
Because that game was 7-6 when Landeskog stole – or was it Landeskog or Rantanen stole the puck and then put it into the empty net, make it 8-6. So
there you go.
That's the great equalizer.
Puck line bettors everywhere rejoiced as they were down to rooting for that, and that's exactly what happened. So yeah, it's I don't want to be a just a favorite guy here, but again, Rangers could absolutely jump up and surprise me. They could play as well as they played in Game 7, and they could give Tampa Bay all they want and more. But until I see it, my default position is going to be best goalie and experience.
Yeah, and my concern with the Rangers, not only the fatigue factor and the experience factor, but the fact that, how do they respond now? Now all of a sudden they have home ice advantage again, which is weird to me. But can Shesterkin play the way he did in Game 6 and 7, or are we going to see Shesterkin play the way he did against Pittsburgh? And Tampa Bay is a team that, if you want to play 5-4 or 6-5, Tampa Bay has the weapons to do that.
Yeah, they'll go.
If you want to play 1-0 or 2-1, Tampa Bay's got the weapons to do that.
Yeah, they can come at you, or they can play pump and dump. They don't care. They'll go either way. I agree, and I think versatility is important once you get to this point as well. So,
and Bill asked if we've been riding the Mets. Well, if you met against the Nationals, why not?
Yeah.
Would have had them today, but of course they started at 110, so it was before the show.
Right. I was all excited. I was like halfway through handicapping that game, and I saw the start time. I'm like, oh god. So
I said the same thing about the Cardinals and the Padres, because I saw Yu Darvish was facing Dakota Hudson.
I'm going to give you a little inside baseball here, so to speak. I will sometimes like a game that starts at noon but I won't do it for my play of the day because I know I want to give that extra 5 or 6 hours time to get
for
my
people to see it. Yeah,
to get my video views. Yep. So it's one of the times that and it doesn't happen a lot, maybe a couple times a season, but there'll be a game I'm like, oh man, I really like that. But then
so like tomorrow, you're going to back Chris Archer against Alex Fado at 110, right?
Well, it does sound like something I would do. Although I'm still a little reluctant to jump on the Archer train at this point. Good show, not a great pitcher.
This is true.
All right, buddy. NBA yet? Got some NBA? Got some
Not
NBA?
tomorrow.
I'm fucking with you. I know it.
Yeah,
Well,
not till tomorrow.
Well, then let's play a couple 2-teamers. Let's make some money.
All righty.
There you go.
Lex said he's going to take the Lightning in under 5 games. That
Under
means they'd have to sweep.
Yeah, I get it. Thanks.
I'm just thinking
I'm pretty good with the arrows that go each way.
Well, no, I wasn't saying that. I was just thinking because could you take 5 or under as opposed to? Okay, I wasn't sure because I know some of the books are picky about that.
Lex, what is the price on that? I'm assuming you're getting 6 to 1, 5 to 1, something like that.
And yeah, Bill, I think Verlander bounces back tonight. We talked about it a little bit ago. Oakland is terrible as a offensive team. They're last in runs per game at home. They're second worst in runs overall, thanks to the Tigers.
I think the thing I like about Verlander the best tonight is I'm not backing him. So, Bill, you should go ahead and feel free to load up. I think you're safe.
Oh, you didn't bet that one, even though you said you would take Houston? What's
that? No, I did not bet it. I've not bet it yet. It's not. And I know
we talked him into it.
I want to know. I know people want to know if I'm playing this one or not. But
considering it starts in an hour,
I know. No, they're waiting with bated breath. Like, all right, what are you going to do?
You'll have to wait till the next show to find out.
And then it jinx me or not.
It'll be like Tony Schiavone at the end of WCW when it used to be on TV. We're out of time.
Okay, again, stop me before I wrestling sub reference again. Sure, it's just like that, buddy. Just like that, exactly. Braves, Diamondbacks.
Yeah, I like Kyle Wright here. He's facing Bumgarner. Bumgarner struggled in the month of May.
It was the opposite of the last couple of seasons where he struggled early and then kind of straightened it out to an extent later in the season. He was really good in April, at least his first 3 starts, and then has been a bit of a bum. Can we say it?
Yeah, I mean, I know you can say some of it was because he faced the Dodgers a couple times, but hey, the Pirates beat them.
Yeah.
In the month of May, Bumgarner 1-2, a .533 earned run average, gave up 7 homers and 25 1/3.
I think that started. I'm almost certain. I think we backed him against Luzardo. No, we backed him against Gonsolin. That's right. We took a shot against Gonsolin. And I think that's he's had 3 shitty starts since then, and he's getting worse. He's given up 2, 3, 4, and 5 in his last 4 starts.
Yeah, he gave. Let's see. The Gonsolin start was May 16th. They lost 5-4. He since then he threw 7 innings against the Cubs. He gave 4 runs on 5 hits, no walks, 7 strikeouts. Gave 2 homers. In a game they won in extra innings. And then he faced the Dodgers again, and they tagged him for 3 more homers, 5 runs on 7 hits, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts in 6, and a 6-4 loss at home.
Yep.
But I mean,
not ideal. Not ideal.
And don't forget, he got ejected in that game against Miami back at the beginning of May.
That's right. After giving up a home run.
Yep.
Gave up 1 hit, 1 earned in one inning, and then got tossed. That was the weird hand feely thing.
Yeah.
What?
I was like, what the hell is this?
Do we still know what the fuck that was about?
No.
Any idea? Was that just bizarre?
I think so.
I mean, I know the ump was a little bitter for chirping at him. They chirped at one of the other umpires or something, and why did they do that? Well, because he made a terrible call on a ball and strike that was obviously a strike, and he didn't get the call. But
it was Angel Hernandez-esque.
Yeah, it really was. So, yeah, you a believer in Kyle Wright, really? Is this it? Has he finally put it all together?
I mean, he's put together a pretty decent season when you look at the numbers.
Oh, I know he has. It's just
he's been a lot better than pretty much everybody. He's been better than Jethro Tull, and
I'm just saying it's so unlike the way he's pitched in the past? Is he
Well, I mean,
finally healthy? Is that the deal?
yeah, it could be. I mean, he's got better control. His strikeout rate is up. His walk rate is way the hell down.
I'm not arguing with his great season. I'm asking, is it an anomaly, and are we going to see a regression to the mean? I'm not saying he hasn't had a great season, although he did, even though he had a quality start last time, still give up 3 earned on just 3 hits though. So okay.
I think that he might have figured something out. Maybe all these injuries and having to spend time in the minors,
Okay.
and everything. Maybe he's figured something out. I mean, he spent most of last year down in AAA. I mean, he was 10-5 down there in 24 starts with Gwinnett. Walked 45, struck out 137 in 137 innings. Probably would have led the league in complete games because he had 2.
Right. Here's my problem if I'm a Bumgarner backer here. 5 home runs last 2 starts.
Yeah.
13 innings, but still, man, if you're giving up better than a home run every 3 innings, that ain't good. That is not good at all.
That is no bueno.
All right. Let's put it this way. I have more confidence in your Yankees than I do in your Braves, but the way Bumgarner's been pitching, I get it. Yeah. And if you're going to play it, I think you go ahead and play and about the run line. You're only getting 55 cents of value. Yeah, I'd probably pass. I'll just play the 150 and hold my breath. All right.
So we talked about the Astros in Tampa Bay already.
Yep.
I think that those are pretty solid.
And we see the payouts there, of course, basically getting 16-10 on the money line. If you wanted to play the 175 and the 150, if you wanted to play the run line on both those games, 340 on your $100, 3.4 to 1. That's good. As far as the more extreme, laying 220 with the Astros, even putting that together with the Tampa Bay Lightning, still better than a 3-2 payout at 157. And of course, if you wanted to jack the run line on those, that's going to bring you $4.59 on your $100 bet. So,
yeah, basically slightly better, I think, than what it was yesterday for the one that we had with Colorado and
yeah.
I have Houston in that spot. I don't even remember.
I thought you had the Rockies. I thought you had was it the Denver parlay you had yesterday?
No, I didn't. I had Miami down in the other part, and it got rained out.
Okay. All right, very good. There's your 2 teamers. How about a 4? How about a quattro, buddy?
A quattro? What is this? Are we bilingual now?
Yeah, a quattro.
All right. How about the Giants again? Because hey, they've beaten the Phillies twice. Because you know why? The Phillies bullpen sucks.
New and interesting ways to lose. Yes.
Now, I just don't have any faith in Philadelphia. I know Aaron Nola's pitching. He's facing Carlos Rodon. I noticed that even though Nola's got a halfway okay record, they're 2-7 in his starts.
Not good. That's not, and sometimes that matters. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes guys, for just whatever reason, are snake bit. Teams don't score runs for them, and it's just kind of an anomalous thing that happens. But you'll see it year in and year out. You'll see one pitcher that gets tons of run support, and you'll see one pitcher throughout the whole season that doesn't get any. So,
and Rye just said the Phillies are embarrassing.
Dude, such a good team too. I really like that Phillies team going into the season, and they've. Can we just be nice and say they've underperformed a little bit? 8 games under 500 at this point. Watching the Mets sail away there in the East. Not good.
You could just say they El Succo the big Wienero, and you'd be fine.
Sure, but I didn't want to be bilingual. All right.
In the case of Nola, I'm just taking a look here. He had a good start. He picked up a win over Atlanta his last time out. Through 8 1/3, gave 1 run on 5 hits, struck out 10. It was the first win in a game that he started since opening day.
Brutal. Just absolutely brutal.
They had lost 8 straight starts in between to the Mets, the Rockies, the Brewers. There's back-to-back games where he started and, they scored no runs for him. And then the Mets, Seattle, and twice to the Dodgers.
I'm no expert, but I'm pretty sure that makes it tough to win.
This is true.
They don't.
The one game he threw 7 innings and gave up no runs on 1 hit and got a no decision.
Now this next one, Chris, this is probably the one I have the most questions about, mainly because I'm just a Scooball guy.
I like Scooball too, but I'm just worried about the fact that Detroit doesn't score any runs.
Well, there's always that factor to to bring to the forefront whenever you're looking at the Tigers. They do not do a good job of putting the biscuit in the basket.
Yeah, and Ober's pitched fairly well, and the Twins actually have, guys that can hit the ball. They tell me that once in a while that comes in handy if you're going to try to, put runs on the board.
Yep.
Unless you got that guy pitching for the A's.
To paraphrase AC/DC, I like the under. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. That's what I like in this one.
I agree as well. We talked briefly about Tampa Bay against Walker, Texas Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
I think Springs is better than Gray.
Okay.
And Tampa Bay's got to put some runs on the board against him, because if you can't, then you have bigger issues than the fact that.
Yeah, we're gonna find out if they're just in a little mini slump or if that offense sucks. Because if you can't ring the bell against John Gray, you got some problems.
Yeah, and Rice said once Nola gives up the long ball, he unravels.
Fair enough. And it's something to keep. That's a good tip, Rye, and it's something to keep an eye on for you live bettors. If you can get some alternative numbers and you think the wheels are going to come off the Phillies Express once Nola gets dinged, that's something to take advantage of. And
Bill, we do like the under in the Tigers Twins game.
Yes, 100%. 7.5.
Can you expect the Tigers to score more than 2 on a regular basis?
I'm still getting the hook. on that 7, baby. I'll take it. Give me a 4-3. Give me a 4-3 winner.
What do you think the total will be when the Tigers go to Oakland and play the A's? What's it going to be, like 4?
Jesus. Well, I mean, it depends on who's pitching, because they don't have fantastic pitching. So.
We'll just say Scooball and Montas, because they're probably the 2 best pitchers.
7. That's one of those. It could be one of those weird 6.5s too that you've seen. It used to be reserved for Verlander versus Kershaw. You used to see a 6.5 5 times a year.
Probably still take the under.
I wouldn't put it this way. I'm not sure about the under, but I ain't playing the over.
And the Mariners over the Orioles. Robbie Ray, talking about a guy who's been inconsistent, but he's facing Baltimore. Baltimore throwing Kyle Bradish tonight to make yet another start in his rookie year.
Conor McGregor should manage that team. So every time they put out a picture, you go, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
This guy here is dead.
I'm not involved in this game at all. I'm not betting on the Orioles, but I'm not sure I like Seattle. So that's a pass for me.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Bradish's last 3 starts, 0-2, ERA of 11.91.
They've been awful.
4 homers allowed, 458 on base percentage, a 221 whip. Those numbers are even worse than I thought they were.
He's due. He's
already got a win. He should be happy with that.
All right. So if you were to play the money lines on all of those, you're getting a little bump there with San Francisco. So that takes that to almost 11-1, 10.94 on 100. Of course, if you take the run line, you're going to have a little dip there with the Giants, but it's still getting 19-1 on your money, 19.28 on a $100 bet. So,
I wonder what the run line payout would have been if it was the Giants minus 1.5.
The Giants minus 1.5. Well, 110. So you're probably minus 1.5, somewhere in the 170 range, right?
Well, that's what I was asking you. I thought it might fall somewhere. Yeah, I guess so, because minus 115 is 145. Yeah, probably.
Probably takes that 19 to 24, 23, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Let's see. I'll punch it up real quick just to see what it would do if we said it was plus 170, right?
Yeah, that's my guess.
Yeah, we'll just go with that because it sounds good.
Okay.
So we'll say plus 170 in that spot because, with their luck, that game will go out extra innings just like every other one that they play.
Right.
145 plus 150 and 115 would turn that into 34.55, 56.
Oh wow, even more intense than I thought. So that's a huge. So you're getting you go 2.4x, changing that from plus 110 to plus 170. Really? Okay.
Yep, that's what it comes up as.
Well, this sounds like a discussion to have when we don't have about 4 minutes left. So, and 10 games to go through. So, grip it and rip it, buddy. Time to hit it right down the middle of the fairway. What do we got?
Yeah, Kyle Wright over 5.5 strikeouts. That's a plus money. If you look, he's taken an Arizona team that's 29th in the majors in strikeouts. They're also 29th in strikeouts at home, and they were worse in May than they were in April. Wright's also struck out at least 6 in 6 of his 9 starts. He's averaging 6.78 strikeouts per start. I think that should be a no-brainer. Look, there's the Twins and Tigers. We just talked about it being under. I think the Angels and Yankees are going to end up over 7.
Okay.
Or 7.5. We talked about Detmers with his 8.49 road ERA.
Yep.
Not good. I think Tampa Bay and Texas are going to go over 7.5. We talked about that yesterday too.
Yep. That was a play from Alley show. Yep.
DJ LeMahieu over 1.5 total bases at plus money, but
sure.
LeMahieu against left-handed pitching this year, hitting 383 and 47 at bats.
Reverse splits. Yep.
Yeah. In his career, he's hit 319 against left-handed pitching.
Outstanding. Lightning win in reg. We talked about that. Plus $1.25. Yep. I like that.
Under 5.5. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. The Rangers are going to be tired, obviously, after playing 3 extra games. Shesterkin over 28.5 saves. Let's face it, in the last 10 games, the Rangers have given up 39, 39, 34, 31, 44, 21, 26, 42, 34, and 32 shots.
Yeah.
When you've got 8 games when you've given up 31 shots or more, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for saves.
I agree. Good call.
Stamkos over 3.5 shots, and Zibanejad for the Rangers over 2.5. Somebody's going to have to shoot the puck for the Rangers. They can't just get by trying to skate around with these low shot totals. I mean, their highest shot total in the last 10 was 38, and that was against the Penguins in Game 7.
Okay.
Against Carolina, 30, 28, 21, 33, 28, 17, 25, and 31. They're going to have to shoot the puck more.
Very good.
Hang in.
And because you're taking 10 totals here, the payouts are the same, 107 grand. So
yep,
that's better than 1,000 to 1. So there you go, guys. That's going to do it for the Shot in the Dark. That's going to do it for the show today. We appreciate everybody stopping by as always. Wish you nothing but the best of luck on all of your plays, kids. Let's go out there. You got all the info. You're armed. Now you need to be dangerous. Go out there and hit those books. You guys have a great day. Stay tuned for Scott and I right on the other side of this commercial break. And
a word from our sponsor.
But if you can't make that, make sure you come back tomorrow and check us out. 2 p.m. Eastern time, 1 p.m. Central. Chris and I. We'll talk about a lot of stuff, man, but we're going to bear down and try to concentrate on
just parlays.
There you go. We'll see you guys in. Take care, everybody.